Joining us now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. And Congressman, it's always great to have you with us. So I want to get back to this feeling that there's a two-tier justice system in this country, because so many people look back to Hillary Clinton and her emails and James Comey saying there's no prosecutor that would prosecute this case. So they're prosecuting Donald Trump, and they're doing it now. And people are saying this is just downright unfair.
Well, it's not even a feeling. There is a two-tier justice system. That's exactly what's happened. Listen, I've read the Durham report. I've read this FBI 1023 form about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. And now you're seeing this documents case. I've had a chance to look at this indictment. And it is crystal clear to me that if you're a Republican who basically stands tough against a radical left agenda, they're going to do everything they can to take you out. That's really what this is about. Hillary Clinton destroyed emails that were subpoenaed by Congress. She destroyed them. And then the only reason why people found out that she had classified emails is because they showed up on the computer of Anthony Weiner when he was being investigated for child pornography. And that's how they found her emails. Joe Biden took classified documents when he was a United States senator, when he was a vice president. They were found in his garage, found at his office, all these places that they should not have been. Donald Trump is a former president of the United States. The former presidents take information with them. They have an ability to declassify, which nobody else has, and they are the executive branch when they are commander-in-chief. If you're now going to prosecute a former president over something like this, where is the indictment on Hillary Clinton? Where is the special counsel on Joe Biden? Because that special counsel seems to be taking his time, while Jack Smith has gone as a man berserk.
Well, that's the point. If we're going to have a conversation about documents, fine. Let's have it for every single person to whom it applies, including our current president. The problem is his case gets slow-walked. The case on Hunter Biden gets slow-walked. Donald Trump case gets fast-tracked. Congressman, what can you and your colleagues do to, at least if we're going to have this conversation, make sure it's happening on the same kind of timeline? Because it's not happening that way right now.
Well, look, the first thing is, in terms of the Oversight Committee, all we can do is continue to investigate and release information to the public. If other news stations choose not to cover it simply because it doesn't support their agenda and their narrative, there's not much we can do about that, but we will put that information out. We're actually moving through the appropriations process in Washington, D.C. That's going to start. And if you have elements of the Department of Justice and the FBI who believe that there is only one set of laws for Republicans and not a set of laws for other people, then yeah, we're going to have something to say about that when it's time to appropriate budgets. Last thing is, this is at the end of the day belongs in the hands of the American people. We got to have a country where the rule of law is consistent across the board, not these political shakedowns, not political prosecutions, because that is the thing that will end our country faster than anything else.
Congressman, a lot of people feel like this is a distraction from us talking about sort of the real issues that Americans are facing, too, which is a slowing economy and inflation that's running well ahead of some of the wage increases that we've seen. I read a study this morning. We could be well into the second half of 2024 when we see the worst negative impacts of GDP. That's when we're all going to the polls. Why aren't we having more of a conversation around economics? And can you bring that conversation back?
Well, look, the reason why that conversation doesn't really happen in our country from a broad political perspective is because the media doesn't want to talk about it. Let's be very frank. They choose what they want to talk about. They choose what the topics are. And if that's not going to support Joe Biden and his efforts to get reelected, they want to ignore it. That's the reason the southern border was basically ignored. That's the reason why nobody ever talked about the fact that Vladimir Putin was amassing troops on the border of Ukraine for 6 months before the Ukrainian invasion. That is the reason why nobody's talking about the fact that Joe Biden's energy policy empowers China. We get the solar panels from China. We get the windmills from China. That these electric cars, there's not enough energy on our grid to even power them. These are the real issues that matter. And last but not least, they don't want to talk about the fact that it's Joe Biden's reckless spending that has started this inflation, which has caused every American to fall behind, whether you're black or white, whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Well, we are talking about it, and we are going to talk about it every day until Election Day. Congressman Byron Donalds, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.